Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, my
what's
man?
going
How you doing, brother?
What's going on? Can you hear me pretty good?
Loud and clear, my man. Loud and clear. I know you're on your cell phone. I appreciate you taking time out to talk to us. Just really appreciate you. So proud of you, man. And over these years since I don't know how long we go. We go back so many years, man. As you were a young man. And I remember you walking into our studio, a lot smaller, a lot thinner. This is back when we owned our studio back in California. I know a lot of people haven't seen that, but we had a very nice studio set up out there. You know, we had all the up and coming talent artists like Phonzy and so many others coming in. And one of the things I loved about you, Fonzie, is you weren't like a lot of the other artists where you just sung. I mean, you play various instruments and things like that. So let's just start with, what got you into music, and then we'll kind of go from there into how we met. But what got you into music, and how did you learn all these different instruments? How did that happen?
Well, my dad was a pastor, so we'll start there. So I have two older brothers, and we played the music for his church. So I was a drummer at my dad's church. My brother played the organ and the keys. My other brother played drums and stuff too. So
Okay.
so we played for my dad's church growing up. It was kind of like it was something regular to us because we were so used to doing it. It
Right.
just wasn't something like, oh guys, look, I can play an instrument. It was normal.
Right. Right. Right.
And when you're in that world of musicians, it seems like that's the only world that exists.
Right.
And then you think everybody can do it.
Right.
And you step out of that and you go to public school, you go to regular school with your regular friends, and nobody knows how to do anything. You know how to do. And you're like, oh, is what I do kind of cool? I don't really know.
Right.
But I never knew that I would be doing music. I played football my whole life. So
Right.
I got hurt playing football. And then plan B was, all right, let me try my shot out in LA and move out to LA and see what I could do. But
Yeah.
during the time of playing football, obviously I'd record, with my friends, go to different studios, been at your studio before, and
Right.
I'd write and do some hooks for different rappers, but never thought that, oh, I'm gonna one day end up really doing it.
Right. Right. And you got crazy talented. But the crazy thing about it is your brother. I know you got a brother that used to come to the studio all the time and would help different artists. He would come in, he would hit the keyboard, he would hit this, and he would. I'm like, who is this dude just all over the place helping all these different artists? And he got crazy skills as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It definitely runs in the family. My mom had dropped the album in the '80s.
Oh wow,
Uh, yeah, she's a singer, and
wow.
yeah, my
Now,
dad played guitar.
okay, so now the brother I'm thinking about, is that Aaron?
Aaron,
Aaron, okay,
Aaron.
that's Aaron. That's right. Okay, so it goes back many years, and I know that my wife remembers him because he used to come into the studio. So we got from football injury into music, and one of the things I can say about you is a lot of people start doing something and things don't go their way, and they just kind of fizzle out. Right? We've seen a lot
Right.
of rappers, we've seen a lot of people do that. You're one of those guys. No matter what was going on, no matter how much I had going on, I was, and at that time I was traveling the world. You remember we owned the professional basketball team out there in
Uh,
California. We had so much going on. Our crossings would always be in, out, in, out. But one
yeah.
thing I can always say about you is always, hey, big bro, much love, big bro. Check out my music, big bro.
Yeah.
And I've always felt motivated. And I told you this one time. I said, there's just something about you that makes me want to see you get to the next level. And I just told you, I said, when the right situation happens, you'll know. And you've done that. You've contacted me on several occasions. And I'm still really looking forward to it because I just think you have a lot more to do. So let's talk about your journey in. I mean, you got so many things going on. Matter of fact, before we get into anything else, let me just show one of your videos here. In order to do that, I got to take you to the next screen, which shows. Okay, here we go. So this right here, man, was big for me. I'm gonna play the video, then I'm gonna come back and ask about your dad because I lost both my parents very young. Mom at 53, dad to 62 to mom to cancer. I'm sorry, dad to cancer, mom to depression. And I listened to this song, man. I think we might have been I think we were in your house, your home studio or something, and you
Yeah.
let me listen to this song. And man, I was just like, I had to hold it back, man, because I can tell you went there. So let me show this real quick, guys. This is gonna be Phonzy, his amazing song called "Sweet 16."
Bottle after bottle of whiskey, struggling to find my way home. I drink to help me cope with the feeling of you being gone. Looking at your name on the pavement bothers me down deep in my soul. They keep saying God don't make no mistakes, but this time he got it wrong. Taken from the light and left in the dark, ruined my high when everything fell apart. But you taught me how to love with every beat in my heart, and now I know what it means. You're sweet 16. You're sweet 16. You're sweet 16. And now I know what it means. Pages after pages I'm turning. I know I look okay, but I'm hurting. I can't keep hiding behind the curtains and act like nothing's wrong. Looking at your name on the pavement bothers me down deep in my soul. They keep saying God don't make no mistakes, but this time he got it wrong. Taken from the light and left in the dark, ruined my high when everything fell apart. But you taught me how to love with every beat in my heart, and now I know what it means. You're sweet 16. You're sweet 16. You're sweet 16. And now I know what it means.
Whoa, man. So finally, what a deep song, man. And I had to try to let that play all the way through because it was just so feeling. I couldn't even get myself to pause it. So talk about Sweet 16. It's crazy, man. I saw the picture of your dad a little older, and man, I recognized Pops. I knew Pops. It's just crazy, man. So talk about Sweet 16. Why'd you call it that, and what that song means to you?
You got a lot of. I'm noticing like a lot of like where the universe is shifting with these younger guys, these younger boys that don't have like role models.
Right.
I don't know if it's the dad not being in the home or if the dad just being present and not present, if that makes sense. And so with that year, what people don't realize is that when you're growing up as a young guy and you're trying to figure things out, it's difficult. When
That's right.
you think you're 20-something years old and you're like, I'm a man. I'm a man.
That's right.
I know what I'm doing, and you don't know what you're doing.
Right. That's right. That's right.
And I realized that when my dad died in 2016. And so 2016 for me was a wake-up call. That's why I call it. It was a bittersweet situation for me. So that's why I called it Sweet 16.
Gotcha.
Because I learned a lot that year.
Right.
And once he passed, I realized, dang, I don't know if I know how to be a man. Like I don't know. Like I usually call him for every little detail, like how you fix this? Dad, what happens if this happens? How do I handle this situation?
Right.
And when he's not there no more, who do you ask?
That's right.
And fortunately, I had him long enough to have some things instilled in my mind to know what to do in certain situations.
That's right.
But for me, that's fortunate to have a father that was in the home, married to my mom 35 years.
Right.
Amazing. I'm very fortunate, but it sucks because I know for the black male specifically, that's not the ideal situation.
That's right. That's for sure. Facts.
And it is what it's not always our fault as men.
That's right.
It's not, but it gets pinned on us regardless.
Right. That's right.
And you start to realize, black or white male, you start to realize at 20-something years old, you're not a man. You don't really know what to do, but that's okay.
That's right.
And so with that, I thought like I would hit rock bottom. I thought I was like, you know what? I don't even know why I'm here anymore. I don't even know what to do.
Right.
Like
That's right.
you get to a point where you just like, I don't even know what to do anymore.
Right. Well, I think it's a scary feeling because, you know, even with my mom passing away when she did, and, you know, I had a lot of success and owned businesses and all that stuff, but, you know, you don't realize what you've learned until they're gone, and then it's inside you. It's who you are, right? It's a part of you, and it's amazing when I think about how I raised my children and how my mother raised us, you know, and it's just like, man, I'm doing the same thing my mom taught, not even understanding that that's what I was doing. So that's incredible.
Exactly.
You have that type of a parent that has that type of impact on your life, and so I definitely, my dad wasn't my dad was more like a Rolling Stone type thing or whatever, but you know, left at a young age and all that kind of stuff. One of these days I might share that story, but so I was on the flip end of that. The dad that left early had step pops that was in there, very abusive to my mom, you know, all of us and everything. So, but you know, I think that's an ideal situation to have that mother father cohesiveness, you know, for that long of a time, and then to have a dad that meant that much to you. I know it had to be devastating because just losing my mom was devastating. So, anyways, you know, just man, much love for that song. We got so many comments. I got to read some of them. Nice song from Shane Sullivan. Timeless says, it is soulful. Love that. It is soulful. I love that. Bullish Kenny G says, love the song, but your boy had a hard time listening to it because he had a hard time listening to it because it meant so much. Crypto Tales, which is a big time artist. He does a lot of crypto rap music. Got crazy talent. Maybe one of these days we'll connect him with you. But he says, man, I felt that one. A lot of 100, a lot of thumbs up, shares, hearts, love, beautiful voice. Man, so yeah, I mean that song really touched a lot of people. Before I go into anything else, let me. I want to go to this one here. You know, I think I want to play another song, man, because I'm just So let me ask you a question. So, My World, what is that? What is that one about?
My World. You know, it's that's mainly about. I was writing that record. I used to work at a veterans home years ago, and I worked graveyard shift, and I was just looking into more of doing some alternative stuff, some alternative music, and being a little bit more intentional. And that record's just more like a fun record about a girl that I imagined at the time, like what would I want? Okay. How would I want to feel about a girl?
No. I think I remember this and the story, and I think I saw this maybe at the house. I saw this somewhere where you were in the lawn. Is that the one?
That's Sundown.
Oh, Sundown, you're in the lawn. Okay, this is not the one I'm thinking about. So let me see this one here. This is My World. Let me see if this is
But I know Water is one of the more popular ones on there.
What is it? Which one is?
Water.
Water's one. Okay, let's do that. Phonzy music. If I put Water, let's check that one out since you brought that one up.
Yeah, if you just type in Phonzy, Water.
Water, got it. Okay, let's listen to this. This is Phonzy with Water.
There's something in the water trying to pull me under. We are sons and daughters, soil from the ground. Ain't no pecking order, blessings from the Father. We're just crabs in a barrel. It's hard to make it out, but I can't save you. I gotta save myself. It's either sink or swim, and I'm ready to take sail. I'm on my way. I've got nothing to say. My debts are paid. I'm on my way. something in the water, trying to pull me under. I keep on pushing forward with my head above the clouds. The seasons keep changing, but they say you gotta go with the current.
Yeah, I like that one, man. That one's amazing. It kind of had that little Maxwell when you went from the soft to the. I was like, I like that one. That made me realize I need to get in shape so I can try to get my little nipple ring. But anyway, it looks good, man. I like it. Yeah, got to bring a little light to the situation, man. I'll tell you guys what, amazing song. Again, a lot of people showing a lot of love for Phonzy. We appreciate it. So talk about, we went from music, videos, and then I know there was a situation where you, before I get into an award that you were just presented, and I can actually pull that up as well, let's talk about the song that I think you were telling me, sorry, like you wrote it and you were just kind of, you were writing it or something like that, but you didn't realize that it would be on the level that it got to or something like that, or it got picked up or nominated or something like that.
Yeah.
So is that the one you just sent me in the message?
That's the one on the Shy. On
okay, so tell me about that on Showtime, and I'm going to show a clip of that when you're done.
So the interesting thing about that is I did that record in 2015. It got picked up in 2019. Okay. And this is why I tell other artists, I tell the people, like, put out the music. Like, don't, and you know this. You know a lot of guys who hold on to music and they never put it out.
That's right.
and I tell them, I'm like, yo, put it out. It's not like the song was a big record and that's why they picked it up. It was just available.
Right.
And sometimes when you're just available, you never know what can happen.
Jeez. Wow.
And so when I was doing that record, I produced it myself, I wrote it myself, I mixed and mastered it myself, I recorded it myself, and I sang it myself. Wow. I did it all myself. Wow. And so that isn't something I normally do, but in 2015, I was living in my car in like 2014, and then finally got a spot, and then wasn't making enough, lived in my car again, and then saved up enough money to buy my own studio. So I sacrificed living in an apartment to be able to purchase my own studio equipment so I can create myself. Wow. And so I did that, moved back into my parents' house in 2015. They had got a little a den downstairs, and I went to Guitar Center, spent a bunch of money, moved all my equipment to their house. And I told myself, I gave myself a deadline, and this is something that people don't normally do either, and they should. Right. I said, I'm giving myself 6 months. Wow. I can't be sitting in here with my parents and just sitting in Clovis, California, creating music in the back room. Like, that ain't me. That's right. And so I gave myself 6 months. I said, look, I got 6 months. I got all this equipment. You got it. You don't have no excuse no more. And so I told myself, all right, you need to create something. So when you move back to LA, whether it's in your car, however, when you move back, you got something tangible that people can go purchase. Right. You know, and so that's what I didn't have the first time I moved to LA.
Gotcha. Okay,
so
gotcha.
I was just there. Right. And so this time I said, all right, get on there. I hadn't produced in years. I got one of my boys got an MPC off Craigslist for me. Boom, I'm producing, relearning how to produce because I hadn't done it in a while. Boom, I'm like, damn, because nobody was sending me beats. Right. So this is for every artist that's listening. If y'all hear this, if y'all not getting beats sent to you, and you don't have any producers messing with you, go make your own tracks. Right. Like, it's no excuse. There's programs for free. That's right. There's so many ways you can make stuff happen. You don't need people, you know.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I appreciated, because a lot of times you do see artists, right, and they're looking for, you know, hey, let me go do this where they redo somebody's song. What is it called? The samples, or they're trying to look for that one hit wonder. And it's rare that you connect with someone that you just watch grind. I mean, you were just always on your grind, back and forth to LA. I mean, sleeping in people's on couches, sleeping in the car, whatever it took. And I think that's why I appreciate, and I really feel like, and I told my wife this, I'm really drawn to helping you. And we've talked about this. When that moment comes, I'm gonna do what I have to do to help you win. There's a time where we actually talked about management and doing things like that
Yeah.
on your behalf, just because of the love that I got for you as an all around person. There's something about the industry that either you love it or but sometimes it doesn't love you back. And what I mean by
Yeah.
that is we spent a lot of money in our studio. We did a lot of things. We had people break in our studio. We traveled, doing concerts. We did all these different things. And a lot of times, one of the biggest things for me as a person who was had a label or had a studio or tried to manage, you get a bad taste in your mouth. And me and you've talked about this, a bad taste in your mouth about people having godlike mentality. You've had crazy success. You've had all these things you've done, but you never had that overly top cocky, oh, I'm the shit type thing. It's
Right.
never been like that with you. And there's so many people that we've represented and we've helped, and they get like that. And it's just like, oh, and then the good people who come along, a lot of times it's like, okay, well, you get burned out. But that's why I'm always drawn back to you, is because you got that type of spirit that you've worked your butt off. And that's why it just makes me rise when people like you have made it and even make it on a bigger level, which you're doing big things right now. You deserve it, man. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is you deserve it for all the work that you've put in. And so, that's one of the reasons I'm super proud of you.
Oh man, I appreciate it. It's a journey. It's a lot of people, and I know the calculations. There's not a lot of, there's a 1%, right? And then I feel like there's a 1%, there's 0.001% when it comes to black males in success. It gets real dark, it gets scary, it gets ugly. And that's why there's only a few millionaires or a few billionaires and a few people who are successful in crypto. It gets dark.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you do. If you're doing music, crypto, it gets dark.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna roll it out to the end? Like that's who's gonna win at the end.
And the only way to find a light is the same work ethic that you have in music is the same work ethic I have in crypto. And I've had this, and you've been part of that crypto journey with me. You've had experience with Bitcoin. You've dealt with Bitcoin. You've, had a business, that you were, using Bitcoin. So you're very, very familiar with crypto. You believe in crypto. You understand crypto. And one of the things for me was just, and I think you know this as well, like I know your music journey, I'm a hell of a student. And I think you know as well as I know that anything I do, I always strive to be the very best at it. That's my commitment to everything I do, whether it's family, whether it's business, whether it's crypto. And that's really what it takes. And that's why I always try to tell the family here is that, do your own research, be a great student. Understand, what you're getting into and how it works, and then prepare and have multiple things going so you're not stuck in one thing. So if that one thing goes down, you're in trouble. Same thing with music, same thing with anything else. Let's talk about really quickly this song. So this feature on this movie, it's like you basically got a phone call. You weren't. I remember you telling me like you were sitting there like, what'd you just say? Like what? Like and then I think you said something like you were being nominated or something. You're like, what? Like, so can you kind of tell me about that whole thing with this TV show before the show right now?
It was a beautiful it was a beautiful year. Like I said, when I was doing that, when I came back in 2015 to work